तान् शक्तान् अशेषकाय प्रसृतान् शेषान् औत्सुक्यमोहादितान् जघान् यो पूर्ववैद्याय नमोऽस्तु तस्मै. Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue with the Anuswarupa Vijnani Adhyaya. In the same part 1, we had discussed about the Shubhadhanya as well as Shimbidhanya Vargas. So today, the next Varga which is discussed in Anuswarupa Vijnani Adhyaya is about the Kritanya Varga. It is also called as Pakwa Anna Varga. In these various preparations made up of this Shubhadhanya, Shimbidhanya, etc. are cooked products which are even considered as healthy. So in the Pathya Kalpana also these preparations are being included, which will be discussed in detail in Bhaishya Kalpana in the second portion in BMS. So before going further, I would like to introduce myself, Dr. Vidyanand Mohan, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Ayurveda, Gokul Global University, Siddhapur. So here, first of all, Acharya says about Manta, Peya, Vilepi and Othana. Acharya says they are Lekhu in preceding order. It means Manta is most Lekhu among these group. So this is the various preparations related with the rice. So first we had to see one by one. That is first of all Manda. That is watery portion of the rice porridge. If you are cooking the rice, not like the raw rice what we are using, it is like adding more quantity of water, and after that that particular rice has to be strained in order to separate the water portion as well as the solid portion. So here this manda means it is the water portion of the rice porridge. It does vatanilopana, specifies trit, glani and vishated dosha remaining. It means after the vamana or virechana, then does Agni Santokshana, that is Deepana, then Pachana, Dhatu Sami, etc. functions are there. Then promotes Sveta and Mardava of Srotas. Manda means it is a clear, supernatant or liquid portion of the rice after cooking. So it is not like we have to cook in the conventional way. Present we are doing in the pressure cooker and all. It is not like that. As per the classical measures, the correct measurements, quantity of water, etc. to be determined, which will be discussed in Vaishya Kalpana. So this manta is considered as the most lekhu and it is very easy to digest. So practically speaking, usually after the Shodhana karmas like Vamana and Virechana, usually the patient is provided with the manda because that is very light and as well as it is giving energy to the patient. Then comes the peya, that is rice porridge with less rice and more water. So again this is also a semi-solid consistency, but it is having rice, quantity of rice will be less and the water content will be more. It is pathya, deepana, pachana and as aniloma of mala, that is mutra, purisha, vata, etc. cures shuddh, trishna, glani, daurbalya, that is karshi, kukshiroka, atisara, jara. Then after peya it is vilepi, that is thick rice porridge. Here also water content is there, but it will be more dense. It is grahi, hridya and deepana. It cures trishna, pathya for vrana, netraroga, durbala, and for the individuals who has undergone samshodhana, and for those who undergo snehapana also this vilepi is considered as good. Maybe because of its deepana guna, it will be helpful in enhancing the agni and all. In the classical way of Peyad Samsarjanakama. Here it is mentioned Peya Vilepi Akrutam Kritam Cha Yusha. There Peya, after Peya, there is Vilepi is mentioned. Then after that cooked rice, that is Othana. So rice which is cooked after proper washing, straining, steaming and served warm. That will be lekhu. Not all rice like we already cooked it in the morning and consuming in the afternoon or evening. That will not be having this property. If you are cooking it properly, not by means of pressure cooker, etc., as per the correct measurements, which will be discussed in Vaishya Kalpana, it should be washed, strained, steamed, and it should be served warm. Then it will be lekhu. Lekhutva is also ensured by addition of kotha prepared out of Agneya Dravya while preparation of Othana. When you are preparing this Othana, you should add, if you are expecting more Lekhutva, lightness, then it can be, it will be received by adding the special kothas made up of Agneya Dravyas. Agneya Dravya means which Dravyas which are dominant of Agni Mahabhuta like Maricha, Shunti, etc. They are more Agneya in nature. So that the Othana prepared out will be also lekhu in nature, more lekhu. Then Othana prepared out of Bhrashta Tandula, that is rice which is fried before steaming or boiling. That also enhances likhutta. So first of all, you have to fry the rice properly. Then it should be added with sufficient quantity of water and it should be cooked. Then it becomes more likhu. Then while preparing odana, if above methods are not followed or it is prepared with kshira, mamsa, etc., then it will be guru in nature. So if you are not following any of these measures like frying or not adding agnya dravyas, etc., or you are even not properly cooking by proper washing, steaming, etc., in the exact time, then it will be guru in nature. Or again, if you are preparing along with the kshira, milk, mamsa, because these are guru dravyas, if you are adding these guru dravyas to this, again the odana, the cooked food will be also guru in nature. That's why it becomes guru. Then comes the mamsaras, that is meat soup. Mamsaras is brahmana, prenana, vrishya, chakshusha and kyosvrana. Mamsaras is the soup made up of any sorts of meat. Then another related one is Vesavara, which is preparation made by cooking the mamsa first in the steam and then grinding and processing with khrida, guda, jeeraga, shundi, etc. It enhances bala and sharira pushti. So first of all, the meat has to be taken, cleaned well and is to be steamed. And after that, once it attains self-cooling, you can make it, you can, or in the lukewarm condition, it should be ground properly and then it should be like the bharjana, like sort of samskara should be done. So with khrida, guda, jeeraga, seasoning process with guda, jeeraga, shundi, etc. So it is helpful in increasing the sharira bala as well as sharira pushti, nourishment, as well as strength of the body will be increased by consuming Vesavara. Then comes the mudga yusha, that is yusha made up of mudga. It is green gram soup. It is pathya for people who underwent samshodhana and also for those who are suffering from vrana, kantaroka and netraroka. Then comes kulathayusha. It is the soup made up of horse gram. Kulathayusha does vatanilomana. It cures gulma. Then two vadavyadis, namely tuni and pratituni. Then comes certain vikaras like tilapinyaka, etc. Preparations out of tilapinyaka, that is residue of tila. After extraction of the oil, you will be getting the solid mass substance. That residue is tilapinyaka. Again, shushka shaka, that is dry leafy vegetables, virutaka, that is sprouted grains, and shantaki vataka. These substances are guru, drishtinashaka, aggravates tritosha, and produces glani. Glani means tiredness. Then rasala. It is prepared out of curd by adding maricha sharkara, etc. It is brahmana, vrishya, snigdha and enhances bala and ruchi. Then comes panaka, that is thick syrup made out of guta and amla dravya. Various amla dravyas you can use for preparing this one. Usually chincha, dadima, etc. are being used. It shows properties based on the dravya used for its preparation. So the quality of the panaka you can expect based on the dravya you are using. Generally, it cures srama, klama, shut and thrid. It is prenana, guru, vishtambi, that is obstructs vata, purisha, etc. Mutra, that is enhances urine output, or it is diuretic in nature, and hridya, it is good for hridya. Usually we are using the panaka like chincha panaka, etc. during the summer season because of mainly the sramak hara, klama hara, shut hara, thrid hara, etc. Maybe because of the same reason it is widely being used. Then comes laja, that is popped rice. It is lekhu, deepana and is having shita virya. It cures thrid, chardi, atisara, kasa and prameha. Pacifies kaba, pitta and metas. Then comes the pruthuka, that is poha or flattened rice. It is guru, flattened rice or rice flakes. It is guru in nature. Kabakara enhances bala and produces vishtambha. Usually in appearance it may looks like lekhu, or when consumes also it will not be feeling that much heaviness to the stomach immediately. But afterwards, after consuming, especially the larger quantity of this guru dravya, this pruthuka or this flattened rice, the person will be experiencing indigestion, or it will take a longer duration to get digested because of the same reason. It is guru and kapakara, but it may enhances bala. But at the same time, it is vishtamba. It may obstruct the mutra purisha, etc. Dhana, that is fried grain. Although you can imagine if something is fried, then it becomes liquid because of the samskara, agni bharjana, or whenever contact with the agni, it becomes liquid and ruksha. So naturally it is ruksha, but here it is the fried grain is ruksha, guru, and lekhne in nature it does tarpana and Vishtambha. Then comes Sattu, that is powder of fried and dehusked grain. For example, is made up of Laja, it can be made up of Laja, etc. So it is Lekhu and Brahmana. It cures Kshut, Thrit, Shrama, Netraroka and Vrana. It enhances Bala instantly on consumption when mixed with water. There are some rules pertaining with the consumption of the Sattu. So water should not be taken while eating Sattu. It means you are not supposed to take like in the form of anupana etc. You are not supposed to take water, and sakku should not be consumed twice, that is more than one time. If you are taking in the morning, that is sufficient, or you can extend it in the evening. Then during the night it is not supposed to consume during the night, that is very much important. Then without adding the water, it is you sure not supposed to take the sattu. It means already we have prohibited the consumption of the water while eating sattu. It means you are taking sattu, then drinking water is prohibited, but you should add. That's why without adding water it should not be used, means you should definitely add some water along with you should not add this without adding water you are not supposed to consume. Means you should add some quantity of water. You should mix it and you should take. Then after having meals, that is after having the food, it should not be consumed. Then after chewing, it should not be consumed. Then in larger quantity also it should not be consumed. So it is like a leha preparation. It should be lihya. It is not supposed to chew. That's why after chewing or by means of chewing it should not be done. Then in larger quantity also the sattu should not be consumed. Then different methods of preparing apupa are kukula, karpara, Brashtakantu, Ankara, etc. So these are the four methods by which you can prepare. Apupa is a sort of preparations made up of this different flours. So kukula is by the method of steaming. Karpara means keeping over the hot earthen surface or earthen plate. You can keep and you can prepare this apupa. Or brashta kantu, that is by means of frying or roasting. Then ankara means keeping over direct flame. You can just over the fire. So apupa prepared out of same source will be different based on the method of preparation. That it is quite natural. Based on the method of preparation, methodology we are using, based on that the quality also varies. So naturally the lagutva increases in the succeeding order. Order means those which made up of ankara, that is keeping over direct flame, will be more laghu. After that which is fried one. After that keeping over the earthen hot earthen surface or earthen plate. Then the most laghu, the comparatively less laghu is steam, that which is made up of steaming. Made up of ankara will be more laghu in nature. So with this we have finished today's topic, and I would like to remind you all that there is no shortcut to success other than hard work. So please continue working hard.